Hi and welcome to pmblounge.com. This is Lounge Fever, wherein we look into some of your burning questions, some of the burning questions that you might have, and some of the frequently asked questions that people have around the topics that we are discussing. So, we recently talked about product analysis, which is one of the tools of the defined scope process. I'll link to that video in the description if you haven't seen that yet. And a basic question that may pop up is, what is the difference between product analysis and requirements gathering? Both are doing sort of same things. That's something that you might think. So let's look into what is the difference, if there is any, between product analysis and requirements gathering. So aren't two the same thing? Which is a great question, I'd agree, but they are not the same thing really. What is the difference? Let's look into that. So requirements gathering, let's talk about requirements gathering because we have discussed requirements gathering in quite a bit of detail over here at PMP Lounge. I'll share a link to the entire playlist in the description below so you can go over that as well and refresh your memories on requirements gathering and the amount of stuff that we have discussed on it. So when you collect requirements, you're trying to understand what needs the project should meet, right? So that is what you're doing when you're collecting requirements, right? Collecting requirements is, like I mentioned, is something which we have covered in great detail. So when you're doing that process of collect requirements, you are trying to understand what needs the product should meet, right? The product of the project. When you complete your project, you will get a product. What are the needs currently that that product should meet, right? Requirements are the content of the product. They are the very content of the product, right? They define the product, right, in terms of its contents. Now, when we talk about product analysis, which, like I mentioned earlier, is one of the tools and techniques of the defined scope process. So when you use the product analysis tool or technique to define scope, you are figuring out what deliverables the team needs to work on in order to build the project scope statement. So here you're talking about deliverables. You're figuring out what you need to deliver as a project team, wherein in requirements gathering you were trying to understand what are the needs that the product of the project should meet, right? So product analysis deals with how the work will be done. It is not about what is the content of the product of the project. It's about how you are going to accomplish the work, how you are going to accomplish the work so that your product meets the needs, right, which you have collected in requirements gathering. So I hope this was clear. I was able to kind of clearly communicate the difference between requirements gathering and product analysis. If you still have any question, if you still have any doubt, you can definitely comment on this video. You can always pause the video right here and read about requirements gathering and product analysis on this slide, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to figure out the difference between the two. So that is all that we had in this quick video. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Check us out on our social media, facebook.com/pmblounge and twitter.com/pmblounge. Send your queries at pmblounge@gmail.com if you have any related to project management or PMP certification. And don't forget to visit the website pmblounge.com, your number one free resource for PMP certification and project management industry information.